The practice of dressing up as a character from a film, book, or video game is called cosplay. And just in case you're unaware, there is a big and growing cosplay community in Trinidad and Tobago. I think it's great knowing that as Trinbagonians, our costume design and reenactment skills are not limited to just carnival time. Animarket is an organization that hosts one of the largest cosplay conventions in TNT.
Feet on the street, and we are in Center Point Mall, Shogunas. Rankin Productions and I have found ourselves in the most amazing and interesting convention that exists in Trinidad every year. Kare Narayan is going to tell us a bit about the cosplay hosted by Animarket. Hi, Kare.
Hi.
Okay, well, tell me everything. I want all the details.
About cosplay?
About cosplay, about the convention, about the
wow.
following in Trinidad and Tobago, just everything.
Okay, that's a lot. You're asking for a lot in such a short interview.
That's fine.
Okay, so cosplay has been around in Trinidad for a long time, definitely more than 10 years now, I would say. But the following hasn't really been that large until recently. In fact, recently, I believe we've even had places like Movie Town and IMAX and stuff start commissioning cosplayers to be characters at like movie openings and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's all pretty new, which tells me that we're finally becoming a little more mainstream.
And respected.
You know, and respected in Trinidad and Tobago because it's really an art form. Cosplayers put a lot of work, a lot of talent, a lot of skills into it. I personally really come from a carnival background as opposed to cosplay, and there are a lot of similarities there because there's just so much technique, there's so much skills, you know. And when you look at, I mean, you guys are going to get footage of the cosplay competition, and when you look at some of those costumes, you would not believe that these things are not store bought.
Right, they're made. That's
they're made.
Criteria in cosplay,
yes,
right?
So I mean, you can buy a costume and you can wear it, and that's cosplay, right? But when we compete, usually, I say we, but I don't compete. I'm not a cosplayer. But when cosplayers compete, usually they make their own costume. In our competition in particular, it is a requirement that at least 75% of your costume is made by you. So you can have people... Hey! You can have... oh man, that's really I think you knocked the idea right out of my head.
You can have part of your costume.
Yeah, so part of your costume can be made. Like if you're not a seamstress, you can have a seamstress help you out. But for the most part, you should be the one making it.
Nice.
You know, by hand. Is he going to shoot me now? Is this what? Yeah. Okay. All right. You should pick on her.
Why? No, let's not.
No.
Man. All right.
Okay.
So tell me about the numbers that we have. I don't think people are aware of how many people are interested in cosplay.
Wow, there are a lot. I would say that everybody who's actually at this convention, they either have some kind of admiration for cosplay or they are a cosplayer. They might not be as hardcore as maybe some of the competitors, because if you look at the level of craftsmanship that our competitors bring, it's a pretty big deal. But they're fans in one way or another. Yeah. You know, there's something about cosplay that can sort of transcend, you know, everyday problems, because when you dress up as the character, right, cosplay is not just about the clothes, it's about the performance. Right, just like an actor is donning, a new role. Yeah. When you put on a cosplay costume, you're becoming that character.
So part of preparing for it is not just the costume part of it, but you really have to learn these. What people just see as normal anime characters or normal cartoon characters. You have to get into the mind of the character.
Exactly. In fact, if you look at some of the photos that people who are cosplaying take, it's almost always in sort of like a signature pose of the character they're cosplaying, right? And they're usually also familiar with like their taglines and that sort of thing. Right. If a cosplayer usually says something in particular, you know, they won't just pose for a picture and stay there. They'll be like, hey, my tagline.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of performance art in it, as well as, you know, the physical skills of sewing, stitching.
Why did you see the need to have this convention every year?
Some of that was mimicry. Because in the States and in other parts of the world, you see that conventions like this happen every year, right? And they're a lot bigger. Well, there are a lot more people in the States than elsewhere, right?
We have about 2,000 people in today's convention.
I think so. Though we expect that to be a little more later because people are just trickling in constantly over the course of the day. So we might end up with closer to 2,500 or 3,000. We catered for about 3,000 people, so we have a lot of space because you never know. Some people just like the influxes, right? And then, of course, when the cosplay competition is happening, people are going to be taking photos and sharing them, and then their friends will go, "Oh my gosh, it looks so cool! I'm going to come over and see the rest of the competition," and then it'll fill up a little more. Right. They tend to get more full during, towards the end of the day.
Right. But so it was just like a mimic of the United States on around.
Well, why have this just once though, right? So they do it that way for a reason. It's because you don't want to do this once in a lifetime. You want to be able to come to this every year. Because it's a community. It's not just a competition, it's not just an event, it's a community of people that come together to enjoy all of the same things at the same time.
What I like about it the most is that you find that people who are heavily interested in cartoons and in anime, it's not a mainstream or popular thing to be interested in. So when you have a community and you find a community of people who you can have the same conversations with, have the same
you have a place to belong, and that's very important. You might notice that we have a lot of adolescents and younger people, and I think that's it shows kind of the importance of having that belonging and that community, because many people, as they get older, they kind of find less and less interest in it, or at least this hardcore, I guess, to come to a convention like ours. But it's a place to belong for when you like weird stuff. And I mean, I'm almost 30 and I still watch anime and I still play video games. So
like most of the characters in the back here.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to check out more of the costumes at the convention, check out some of the stores, and take a peep in the competition itself.
Yeah, cool.
When we're feet on the street, Rankin Productions and I having a time.
Yeah, you will be blown away, I promise.
Perspective time. Okay, I understand that this can seem like idle time, just something to do for recreation, but think of it this way. Some people spend money on cars, others on cosplay. Or what if I told you in other parts of the world, this is a career where a person can earn up to $100,000 a year. And that does not include the flight and accommodation benefits. From when you're touring the world making appearances at different conventions. No, nothing big. Trinidad is definitely getting into that industry. You can cosplay just for fun or enter into different competitions. To compete, however, you have to design and create your own costume. Let's meet some of the local cosplayers now.
Look, it's only fair if we're here, we have an interview with one of the cosplayers, all right? So I got one. Hi. All right, tell us your name, tell us the character you're portraying, tell us why you're doing cosplay.
Okay, my name is Danielle, and this is Nami, the Tide Caller from League of Legends.
Nice.
It's an online game, and I was inspired by the entire mermaid look. I was just fell in love with it. I had to do it.
Right.
As complex as it was worth it. I love this character.
Yeah. Okay, tell us how long it took to make the costume.
On and off, an estimated 6 months.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, you did it. Is it that you had a team or you
No,
alone
it's
on the
just
costume?
me.
Okay, what do you do? What do you do outside of cosplay?
I'm
in
a-
normal world.
I'm a veterinary student by day.
Okay, so you're studying by day, and
cosplaying by night.
between exams and studying, you're making costumes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Why go further into doing cosplay? Because you said you've been competing for like 3 years.
Yeah. It's because it's the thrill, the excitement. Sometimes mainly because, cosplay is expensive,
You're right.
Yeah,
because you are funding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the little money that comes from the prizes is pretty much worth it, but the love for playing a character and just being that person for one day, for a few hours, is actually really worth it.
How did you go about studying the personality of the character?
Well, by playing the game, you get to actually understand and do a lot of research online.
Right.
Thank God for the internet. Right?
Yeah.
We find out a lot about what the character does, their emotions, movements, all the details that actually go into the costume.
Yeah.
So a lot of research actually goes into all of this.
All right, so we're going to take a little footage of the entire costume by Danielle.
competing in cosplay, there are different categories. There's, of course, the individual, and then there's a group category. Cosplayers joining me today in the group category. Your name is?
Natalia Henry.
Nigel Superville.
Celicia Henry.
All right, and what is the characters or the game that you are portraying today?
Oh, we are portraying Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is a horror indie game that has grown in popularity over the last 4 or so years.
Right.
Yes. Basically, the game is about a security guard on the night shift trying to stay alive before the animatronics come to eat him.
Fun. Sounds like fun. Have you mastered the game though?
No, we're actually very much chicken, so we actually watch people play it versus us actually playing the game.
Wait, y'all don't play the game?
It's that terrifying. I don't think we won't be able to sleep. That's a problem. But we do support. We do support it. We will tell people go and watch it. Go play if
Right.
possible. I
Right.
mean, we will after doing this. I think we've gotten over our initial phase, so we probably try to go and play it.
Right.
I don't think we'd last very long though. I think we'll give up after like the first three scares.
All right, fair
Yeah.
enough. So tell us why you got involved in the whole cosplaying thing.
Okay, well, a little bit of history here. I'm actually Trinidad's first cosplayer.
Nice.
Yes, back in 2002. Yes, that was a long time ago.
Right.
2002, there was an event that was the only event at the time called Anime City, and I decided that after watching like little bits and pieces of people doing things in the States, I said, hey, why not?
Right.
So it was the first time I actually went, and it just blew up after that.
What was the character?
I went as Misao Makamichi from Samurai X.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was simple at the time, but it was still, people could still see it was me.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many ever years later?
Oh, I've done so many.
Nice.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Well, I think I've crossed the maybe the 100 mark by now, collectively.
Of costume?
Yeah,
Of cosplay costume.
cosplay costumes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it that have you so excited about it, so enticed?
Oh, of course the crafting. Crafting has always been my thing, and it's just amazing to try to portray the characters that we see in video games and movies and anime and all over the place.
Nice.
Yeah, cosplay is not actually pushed into that corner.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be anything. You could even cosplay people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's very cool. All right. So tell me a little bit, I'm going to understand, right? Tell me a little bit about how you all came together and worked on this particular demonstration. Yeah.
Well, this demonstration, really and truly, we thought, okay, we were deciding, and we decided that, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's popular, it's cool,
Right.
and we love it because we watch it all the time with different people online and whatnot.
How long it took for you all to, finally come up with the entire thing?
Roughly 2 weeks. Yes.
Yeah. What was the hardest part about putting the costumes together?
Oh, the head.
The head.
Yeah.
The head is actually articulated to move the jaw and all that. So we focus a lot on the head because
Okay.
that's what people look for when they see Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like the mascot character of the
Right.
game, Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
Trademark.
All right, so you're going to get a little insight of the entire cosplay of it all, the costumes as well as the interactions with the characters. If you or anyone you know is interested in cosplay, design for cosplay, or just want to be part of the cosplay community, a simple Facebook search result will direct you to different cosplayers and conventions across Trinidad and the Caribbean. Special thanks to Kerr and the Animarket team.